Peace, everyone. Let me know if you can hear and see me. I think I probably got past my technical issues here. Please let me know if you can hear and see me in the chat. Okay, so everyone can hear and see me now? Okay, great. I apologize for my technical issues here, but I'm glad to be here. First, I just want to state my name is Aaron. I am a 2024 graduate of Angel Alchemy Academy. I am so glad to be here as part of Love Fest. I couldn't be happier that I took the classes at Angel Alchemy Academy. I was already a medium prior to doing the Angel Alchemy Academy. And being a part of AAA has just increased my ability as far as a reader, as a medium. It's expanded to what I'm able to do with connecting with angels. And I found that there's other things that I'm connecting with as well. So it's been an amazing journey, and I am so glad that this is has gone so well and given me so much more than I ever expected. So absolute gratitude to you, Corinne, for doing the AAA. For everyone here, I just want to express gratitude to everyone that is here joining me today for the readings and for messages. I want to just start out with, and I'm going to do some readings, but I have a couple messages and a couple things to share. And I want to just show you something that's a little bit funny. I have four decks in front of me. When I pull one of my main decks that I use is Cal Gray's the Angel Guide Oracle. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite decks. When I pulled this deck out, and I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous about going live like this because I've never gone live to do readings. I've only gone live to talk, and that's it. But when I pulled the deck out, all the cards were basically straight except for one card. And of course, I had to look at the card because that's a message for me. But I don't think it's just a message for me. It's a message for anyone that's willing to look at where they are and what they're doing. But the card is spiritual growth, and the spiritual growth card definitely applies for where I am and what I'm doing. A year ago, if you told me I was going to be doing something like this, I would have never expected it. And I'm still honestly shocked that I'm doing it. But spiritual growth comes with all that we're doing for anyone that has any type of growth that they're doing within their path. So definitely maintain that. But this was a clear message for me to keep going and keep growing and not to be delayed or inhibited by the things that come up within life. Um, the other thing that I've just been given to talk about, and I just want to give some hellos. And if I missed you, I apologize. But hello, Carrie, Jill, Emma, Carolyn. Thank you, Carolyn, Shonda, Lisa, and anyone else that I can't see. I love all of you, and I'm glad that you're here. So gratitude to each of you. And Drew, and I had to catch you on the replay. I look forward to seeing you on the replay. That looked like what you were doing was really good. Um, so gratitude. So I just want to talk about just the overall state of things. We have to look at things as they are in society today, and with things as they are in society, we still have to be human, and we still have to be loving for all that we do and how we look at things. But the important thing for all of us to do is to try to look at whatever's going on in your life. Hey, Lynn, and in your world, you have to look at everything. Hi, Susanna. You have to look at everything as it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And I'll admit, yes, at times it is rather difficult. I've been there. And look, I'm still there with some things. That's the reality. And there's some people that will go live and talk about things within the spiritual community as if life is perfect. And I'm sorry, but we're living a human existence, and life is not perfect. What we're meant to do within this human existence is to live. If there's something that comes up within that human existence that's difficult, you could be human and and have the difficulties that come with it. But the thing that you want to do is to make sure that you don't rest in being human and rest in the pain of whatever the situation may be. So basically take a few minutes or whatever time that it takes, be human, be upset, be in pain. Once that's over, or once you can push that aside, go forward and don't think about where you are and what you're dealing with, because ultimately your guides, your angels, guides, ancestors, they all have your back for everything that you're doing. And everything that happens is part of where you're supposed to be. Hi, Tina. Hi, Jean. So don't try not to look at things for how they may appear difficult for you, because a lot of times the things that come up as difficulties are actually things for your growth. And one of the things I was given long ago is your, just to quote, your trials of today are the encouragement for someone else's tomorrow. So all of those things go together, and frequently they're for your greater good, and they're for the greater good of others that you may need to share with in the future. Now, alongside that, with everything that's going on today, a lot of us are experiencing changes. We're experiencing changes as far as relationships, friends, careers, homes, and with your relationships and what you're doing and where things are going and where society's moving to and where we're moving to as spiritual beings. The things that are being moved, don't look at any of those things as being lost, because they're not lost. Sometimes You have, just as an example, and I meant to bring my visual aid, but I'll use a poor visual aid. If you have a bottle and that bottle's full, and spirit needs to add to that bottle, spirit's not going to keep adding to the bottle and have it run over. Spirit's going to clear space in that bottle. And in clearing space in that bottle, that allows you to have the growth to come into that bottle to fill it back up again. So try not to look at any of those losses as something that's difficult. Yes, pain may be involved, discomfort may be involved. However, once again, it's happening for you. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And this goes especially for people, because a lot of times we'll have friends and associates that we look at and we feel that everything that they do and our connection with them is very favorable. And sometimes it may be favorable on the surface, but as far as your long-term spiritual growth and what's to come, it may not be that may not be the case for what's to come for you. And you have to allow the flow, you have to allow the direction, and you have to go in the direction that spirit is pushing you in. And hi, Heidi. And all of these things, and yes, Sean, the pain and discomfort gets our attention, and sometimes it's needed. And a lot of times, with the getting your attention, many times your guides, especially the ancestors, they're sitting behind you and they're saying, no, don't do that. No, change this, change that. And frequently we'll sit and not listen. And then as we're not listening, that's when things start to go a bit awry. And sometimes that's what it takes to get you to move, whether it be a career, a relationship. Sometimes things will go awry. And even with a work situation, you may have a work situation where everything was perfect. And your guys have been saying, okay, it's time to leave there. And you're still staying and saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to plan until I know what's going to happen. And ultimately, the situation may become more difficult to deal with. It may be a new supervisor that comes along that's a nightmare. So that nightmare supervisor might be what causes you to actually finally take action. And I've seen it happen plenty of times in the time that I've been doing this. It's actually happened to me. And hi, Jenny. And it's an amazing process. But we look at today and we look at the right now, and spirit is looking at what's in the future and how things are going to fall into place for you in the future. And those new people are going to come along, and the new jobs and new gifts and new just life in general. Because life as we know it today, and there's no fear mongering in this statement whatsoever. This is a favorable statement. Life as we know it today is changing, and it's changing for the good. Is there going to be difficulties? They may. They may come. For me, I follow the quote of I know everything that I need to know when I need to know it. I get everything that I need when I need to have it. And as long as you're following that, you're going to be taken care of, because your guides never want to see you left out in the cold as far as anything that you're doing. And if there's a lesson, you just have to take the lesson and figure out what that lesson may be. Um, and that's everything on the initial message. I just want to note two other things. I'm going to want to pull an affirmation card. And then I just want to pull another a card for this collective group, and then we'll go from there. And this is Louise Hayes' deck. I don't remember the name. Um, and I love this card. I accept my uniqueness. It's it's very appropriate for a lot of us and the directions that things are going. And it just says on the card, and that's the front of the card. I accept my uniqueness. On the back of the card, it says, "There's no competition and no comparison. For me, all the different. I'm sorry. There's no comparison and I'm sorry. There's no competition and no comparison. For me, all we are all different and meant to be that way. I am special and wonderful. I love myself." Amazing card. And it's funny this card came up because while I had things coming up in regards to what I was going to talk about and get onto, one of the things that came up, which I'm just going to say, is make sure you're loving yourself. That's highly important. I'm just going to say one of the things I love about this is being able to flow with what I'm given. But honestly, when I go on a live like this and I don't know what I'm going to talk about precisely, it can be nerve wracking. But when it all comes together, it is wonderful. But give yourself the self love and be the individual that you are. Authenticity is the highest vibration that there is. You have gratitude, but above gratitude and right alongside it, I would also say, is authenticity. Be who you are, love yourself. That's the most, if you don't take anything else away from what I'm saying today, love yourself and be authentic. And that's something that a lot of us struggle with. And I'll just give you an assignment to go along with this. Today, before you put your head down on the pillow, get in the mirror and tell yourself, I accept my uniqueness. Look into your eyes and tell yourself, I love you. And repeat it multiple times. And I would also recommend, if you never do anything like that in the mirror already, start doing it every day. And no matter where you live, there's a mirror somewhere. All of us go to the bathroom at some point during the course of the day. There's not very many bathrooms that don't have mirrors. So get in the mirror, even if it's just for a minute. Tell yourself that you love yourself. Tell yourself that you're unique and you're meant to be that way, and you are exactly as you were meant to be. And I'm going to pull one other card. Actually, I'm going to pull a card from a deck that I've never pulled from before for the collective. This is really going out. And I actually have two decks in front of me that I have never, ever pulled from. This is the Angels and Auras deck, Radley Valentine and Dougal Fraser. They are both amazing. And this is a great deck. I'm still learning it, still getting used to it. And as I said, I've never actually done a pull from this deck. And the other deck that I have, which I don't think I'm going to pull anything from it, but this is a deck that I actually just got not long ago. It's the Heavenly Angel deck. It's not typically the type of deck that I would have gotten probably a few months back, but I'm expanding as far as how I look at things. And this is I believe it's a relatively new deck, but it's sort of a deck that's done in a comic strip type of fashion. So give me 1 second on this. Okay, so the card jumping out of the Angels and Auras deck is career transition. This fits what I was talking about, and this definitely resonates with someone that's on the fence with something that they're doing as far as their career is concerned. So be ready to clear the space to make the new space. It's kind of hard to have multiple jobs if the jobs are doing work at the same time of the day. It's a little bit difficult. Not impossible, but highly unlikely. But this card says change, excitement, opportunity, and advancement. So apply this to all of your connections, not just career. Apply it to everything. And this uh, this card is applying and basically fits everything that I've been talking about already. Which I love when a card comes out like this that affirms everything that I've already been saying. Okay, and I'm not even. I thought I was going to have to go to the guidebook, but not necessary. I'm also not one of those fancy shufflers. I can shuffle and shuffle well enough. Um, and that's just something else as far as where you are and where you may be in your path. You don't have to do it perfectly before you do it. As long as you can do it, just do it. Okay, and I'm gonna, if you want to put some questions up for a reading, please do so. We have about 10 minutes. And Candy, did you get the guidance that you were looking for already? Jenny, it's right here. You got it. Um, Tracy, you're asking if I can see your finances getting any better. Okay. The card that's coming out here is power and intention. And the the thing is with this card, it's this angel is standing in confidence in what's being done. So that you have to set a clear path in your mind as far as how you want things to flow for your finances and whatever plan there is that you're thinking about. And there's something that you're putting a limitation on with what you're considering, and you don't need to have that limitation. Go on and do what that is. Plan it out, but don't limit yourself. And that's one of the big things that a lot of us do is we do limit ourselves as far as what we do. So definitely be confident and make that move. Um, and bear with me, the questions got away. Okay, Lisa, You want something that anything the angels would like you to hear? And Candy, I'm sorry, can you put your question in again? I missed what your question was. Um, the for Lisa, expect miracles is the card. Be in flow with yourself and with all that you're doing. This the interpretation as far as what I'm seeing with this card is to take flight and to move with what you're getting and to flow with it uh, because it's and this goes to a lot of people here as well. A lot of things are within your grasp, and if you stop reaching for whatever it may be, you'll never get it. So uh, there's another quote, and I'm not great with remember precise quotes, but you can always be an inch away from gold. So keep digging, keep going forward. The gold is there. But if you don't keep going towards the gold, you'll never get it. So once again, that applies. And a lot of times in uh, a group reading like this, when someone requests a card, it fits everyone. Um, Candy, you're asking if you're on the right path as far as careers. I'm going to pull a card, but I actually have it. Actually, I'm going to ask you a question. What's your debate as far as careers are concerned? Wow. Um, for Candy, the card in regards to your career, and you have to look at this for what works for you. The card is cut the cords. Uh, Candy, you just answered your own question to a degree here. The it's the card is saying cut the cords, cut the cords, and I'm showing you the card, and you just put in the chat. I'm not making the money that I should be. So it comes back to you. What are you going to do? Are you going to find something else and cut the cords? And once again, we come back to we have to make room for with room needs when room needs to be made. So if you need to make room for something else, if there's something else that you have brewing as far as something of your own, then do what that is. But the most important thing is what you do, whether it's career, something on the spiritual path, you have to do what brings you the most joy. We're here to experience joy, we're here to experience love. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, then you need to evaluate how can I improve this? And once again, this applies to relationships, applies to people. If the people that you're around don't bring you joy, why are they around you? And you have to look at things in the full scope. So think about what you're going to do and which way you're going to go as far as the actions that you take. And if you're thinking about something for yourself and the time that we're in today, if you can find a way to put those things together and do something for yourself and for the future of your family and the things that will fit best as things shift in this society, you want to do it. And in my opinion, there's nothing better than having your own. There's absolutely nothing better than having your own source of life, your own source of income. Um, and you're welcome, Candy. And Sean, I'm glad that resonates with you also. All right. I need another question here. I cannot get back to the previous question. So if someone else has a question, please put it in the chat. And if there isn't one, but I'm pretty sure there is at least one more, then I'll just pull a card for the collective here. And this is wonderful being in the energy with all of you. Now, all of my classmates that are here, I love you guys, and I'm glad to see you here. Betty, were you just looking for a general card, a general reading? And Betty, I'm sorry, I think you were actually the first. So my apologies, Betty. And this is the first time I'm doing this, so I ask that everyone bear with me. Betty, your card is ease and grace. Um, your your connection and growth is miles ahead of where you're thinking that it is. Your process and and Betty, I remember. I definitely remember your process. All of that fits together as far as your your health is concerned. You have to focus on the the positive of everything that's coming along, as difficult as it may be. But focus on you're already doing things on your spiritual path. Find the joy in those things, and find the joy and focus on the the joy and focus on the recovery for how you're going to move on, and keep working with the healers within our group. The You're amazing, and these what you do is not coming forth for no reason. The question is, what's the reason for things going as they are, and how can you rest in comfort and know that you will be able to overcome. You're you're not the same person that you and Carolyn's note fits right along with what I'm saying here. You're not the same person that you were months ago. Your body's not the same body that it was months ago. Keep flowing with the change in your body, but you want to flow with the change in your body as all good change, and keep working with the positive thoughts and the theta healing, because it's going to make a difference for you. It definitely will. But just keep being positive. Uh, that's awesome. And keep doing what you're doing. I don't think I'm not getting anything as far as you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And in fact, I'm getting a very favorable for you to keep doing what you're doing and don't get caught up in everything surrounding you in life and everything that's directly intersecting you in your life. And I'm going to try to pull one more. Kelly, the card is signs and reminders for you, Kelly. And once again, this is another card that applies to a lot of people within the group here. Um, the In this card, there's butterflies and there's birds and there's a feather in the center. These are all signs and all things, some of which you're missing. Pay attention and watch for the signs. And when you see these signs, try to. In fact, one of the things I always recommend to people when I'm doing readings and we're talking about signs and symbols, put it in your journal. I recommend every day if you see something, the I every day you see something that's a sign or that could potentially be a sign, document it. If you're out in the street, put it in your notes on your phone. Put it in your journal. And also when you note and document that, note what you were doing, note what you were feeling, and just note what the experience was. And when you do that, you'll see the pattern that's coming to life as far as what the angels are trying to tell you. Your angels, for they're always with you. You never have a time, and a lot of people don't always feel this, but the angels are always there. The angels are always giving messages. Your guides as well, they're giving you messages. So you have to pay attention to the messages that you're getting because when you're paying attention to those messages, it does a lot as far as your guidance and the direction of where you are going. And I also just want to say, I know there's some people, when it comes to signs, that want to fit a sign into what it is that they want. Uh, don't do that. And I'm not saying that you do this. I'm just saying, Kelly, follow the signs and document it and note. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, if you're not sure, look at all those signs together and see what it's pointing you towards because it's pointing you towards something and it may be something that you are missing. For those that try to force a sign, don't force a sign. I've had people that I know that will basically stare at the clock when the time turns 108. They'll stare at the clock until it's 111. And then say, it's 111. I got a sign. Of course you saw 111 because you've been watching the clock since 108. So don't force the signs, but watch them and they'll come. And just another thing that a lot of people do as far as missing signs, a lot of times you're focused on one thing instead of looking at the big picture. And when you walk out your door, there's a whole world around you. There's a whole world that you are connected to. So you want to connect to that world and see what's being given to you. And once again, this applies to many within the group. Um, uh, my time is basically up. Betty, I love you. AAA class members, I love you. AAA predecessors, I love you. Everyone here that's not part of Angel Alchemy Academy, I love you and I am grateful that you joined today. And I hope you continue to get something out of every person that you see. I will be coming on again on Saturday. I don't remember what time, but I'll be on again on Saturday. And stay on and watch. And I don't remember who's following me, but stay on and watch and get whatever you can out of all these readings. And remember, I love you. Make sure that you love yourself more. And peace and love to everyone. And I have to figure out how to close out of this.